Welcome. I'm Amalur Podas presenting a lecture on absolute configuration. Here I have given the structures of two enantiomers of lactic acid. Can you identify which among the two is the plus lactic acid? Of course, since they are the enantiomers, one of the two will rotate the plane of the plane polarized light in the clockwise direction. But we have to identify which among the two is the plus lactic acid. In order to write the correct structure of the plus lactic acid, or in order to identify the correct structure of plus lactic acid, we should know the exact arrangement of atoms and groups in space around the stereogenic center of lactic acid. In addition to that, we should have a proper method or nomenclature to describe the exact arrangement of groups around the stereogenic center in this molecule. The precise or exact arrangement of groups around a stereogenic center in a molecule is called absolute configuration. This absolute configuration in a chiral center of a molecule can be obtained experimentally by single crystal X-ray crystallography. Okay, now we have obtained the information regarding the arrangement of groups in a chiral center. How are we going to depict or describe this arrangement and give a name for this configuration? In the early days, that's before 1951, there was no method available for determining the absolute configuration, that is the exact arrangement of groups around the chiral center, and hence the configuration of molecules were described with respect to glyceraldehyde. All the configurations described with respect to glyceraldehyde are called relative configurations. The plus glyceraldehyde, having a OH group on the right, hydrogen at the left, CHO at the top and CH2OH at the bottom, was arbitrarily given a configurational symbol D. The mirror image of this compound, that is minus glyceraldehyde, the levorotatory glyceraldehyde, was given the configuration EL. Any compound that can be derived from or converted into D-glyceraldehyde is given or assigned the configuration D, and it belongs to the compounds of D series. Similarly, a compound that can be derived or prepared from or converted into L-glyceraldehyde is assigned the configuration L, and it belongs to the compounds of L series. So these D and L configurations are relative configurations of the molecules, since they are assigned in relation with or with respect to the D and L glyceraldehydes. Thus, the relative configurations of molecules is classified as D and L. The absolute configuration of a molecule can be obtained by single crystal X-ray crystallography. When we don't have the crystals of a compound, we cannot determine the absolute configuration of the molecule by this method. In that case, we can try to derive its relative configuration. How do we derive this relative configuration? When we synthesize a chiral molecule of unknown configuration from a chiral molecule of known configuration, then based on the mechanism followed in the reaction, we can derive the configuration of the product. That is called relative configuration. The configuration at the chiral center of this carbon is decided with respect to the configuration of the chiral carbon in the starting compound. I have given the oxidation of glyceraldehyde into glyceric acid as an example here. This is D-glyceraldehyde with the configuration D, and this on oxidation gives glyceric acid. And the mechanism of this reaction does not involve the cleavage of any one of these four bonds present in the chiral center. Therefore, the configuration at the chiral center of the product is the same as the configuration of the chiral center in the starting compound. The configuration in this chiral carbon is retained. Therefore, based on the mechanism, we are coming to a conclusion that there is no change in the configuration at the chiral center. Therefore, this chiral center or this compound is also assigned the configuration D. So here the configuration of this product is decided based on the configuration of the starting compound. Therefore, the configuration assigned in this way is called relative configuration. Here I have given an example for synthesizing a molecule of unknown configuration from the molecule of known configuration. We are starting this reaction with the D-glyceraldehyde, a molecule of known configuration. Then after oxidation and halogenation, we get one product here, and this on reduction we get lactic acid. So during these series of reactions, no one of the four bonds present in the chiral center is cleaved. Therefore, the configuration at the chiral center of the product is the same as the configuration of the chiral carbon in the starting compound. The procedure for assigning the DL configuration for molecules. First of all, we have to draw the Fischer projection formula of the molecule. While drawing the Fischer projection formula, we have to take the carbon chain in the vertical line, and the most oxidized carbon should be kept at the top. The least oxidized carbon should be kept at the bottom. And the first chiral carbon from the bottom should be looked at. If the OH group is at the right side, the molecule should be given D configuration. And if this OH group at the first chiral carbon from the bottom is at the left hand side, it should be assigned L configuration. So now we are assigning D and L based on the presence of OH group at the right or left. Now that is extended to other molecules which are not having OH group at the first chiral center. So for any molecule to assign DL configuration, you draw the Fischer projection formula by keeping the carbon chain in the vertical line. Now while drawing the Fischer projection, keep the most oxidized carbon at the top. The carbon of the R1 is the most oxidized carbon, and the least oxidized carbon should be kept at the bottom. From the bottom, the first chiral carbon, from the bottom you move upward. The first chiral carbon you are meeting with, you have to analyze. In this first chiral center, if you have the electronegative heteroatom at the right side, then it should be assigned a D configuration. And if the electronegative heteroatom is present at the left side, it should be assigned L configuration. In this system of assigning DL configuration, even for molecules with multiple stereogenic centers, the configuration is assigned based on the lowermost chiral center alone. And this procedure is ignoring the configuration at the remaining chiral centers. So this system of DL configuration is not giving any information about the arrangement of groups in the other chiral centers, and that is the most important defect of this nomenclature. While assigning DL configurations for molecules, we take into consideration only the lowermost chiral center. So this DL nomenclature gives information about only one chiral center and it is ignoring the configuration at the remaining chiral centers. Therefore, an unambiguous and universally applicable system for specifying the absolute configuration, which is actually the actual spatial arrangement of atoms and groups at each chiral center in a molecule, has to be devised, and that was done by Kahn, Ingold and Prolog. And this system of nomenclature is called RS nomenclature or Kahn Ingold Prolog or CIP nomenclature. And this system of nomenclature is based on the actual or absolute configuration in every chiral center present in the molecule. How to assign RS configurations for the chiral centers present in a molecule? So what are the steps involved in assigning this RS nomenclature? What is the procedure that we have to use for assigning RS nomenclature for every chiral center? So the first step that you have to do is you have to identify the 4 ligands or the 4 groups connected to a chiral center, and then you have to assign them priority numbers. You have to assign a sequence of priority, which means you have to assign priority numbers. The group with the highest priority should be given number 1, and the group that gets next priority is given number 2, and that way a sequence of priority is assigned for all the 4 groups present in a chiral carbon. After assigning the priority numbers, the step 2 you have to do is you have to rotate the molecule in such a way the lowest priority is going away from you. Now there are 3 groups coming towards you, and now you have to view these remaining groups in the decreasing order of their priorities. You have to look at the group with the highest priority. The group with the highest priority is given number 1. The group with the next priority is number 2. So you read from 1 to 3. Go from highest priority to lower or lower priority groups. In looking so, in traveling, while you are traveling from 1 to 3, if your eye travels in clockwise direction, that particular chiral carbon is assigned R configuration. While reading the numbers from 1 to 3, if your eye travels in the anti-clockwise direction, that particular chiral carbon is assigned the configuration S. This step 2 is called conversion rule. There is an interesting aspect about these R and S. This R in Latin, it is the word rectus. It is the first letter of the word rectus, which means right. Actually, this rectus does not mean the right side. It means the right idea or right concept or righteousness. So actually the word that means for right side in Latin is a dexter, and the first letter of dexter is a D, and that is already in use for DL configuration. That is why these 3 people, Kahn, Ingold, Prolog, these 3 people hesitated to use the letter D here. So fortunately there was another word, rectus, which is also meaning right, but this right is not the right side but right thing. But anyhow it is also right. So let us go with this word which means right, that is a rectus. So they started using the first letter of rectus, that is R. And another coincidence is Kahn. The name of this scientist Kahn is, the full name is Robert S. Kahn. So his initials are R and S. So there is a coincidence. So people started using R and S symbols, notations for assigning the configurations for chiral carbon atoms. While assigning RS configurations for the chiral carbon atoms of a molecule, we are making use of the sequence rule for assigning the sequence of priorities for the groups connected to the chiral carbon. If all the four atoms which are directly connected to the chiral carbon are different, then the sequence of priorities is determined based on their atomic numbers. The atom with the highest atomic number is assigned the highest priority, and all the other groups are assigned priority numbers based on in the decreasing order of their atomic numbers. So in the case of bromo, chloro, fluoro, methane, the sequence of priority of these four groups is bromine with the highest priority. Next to that we have chlorine, and then fluorine, and finally we have the least priority group, hydrogen. And in case if we have two atoms which are the isotopes of the same element, then the isotope with the higher mass number is given higher priority over the lighter isotope. In case of this molecule alpha deuterioethyl bromide, bromine gets the highest priority as it is having the highest atomic number. Then carbon is there. Next to these two, we have two other atoms which are the isotopes of the same element. And among the two, this is the heavier isotope, and that gets higher priority over this. So deuterium is assigned the priority number 3, and this one, hydrogen, is the lighter isotope, is given the lowest priority. When two atoms which are directly connected to the chiral carbon are the same, then we have to move to the next point of difference in both the groups. Therefore, we assign priority at the first point of difference. This you can understand with an example. In case of 2-butanol, we have methyl group in one side and there is another ethyl group present. In both the cases, there are carbon atoms connected to the chiral center. In case of methyl group, the second atoms are hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. All the three atoms are hydrogen. Whereas in case of ethyl, this is the carbon that is connected to the chiral carbon, and this carbon is directly connected to two hydrogens and one carbon. So in case of methyl, all the second atoms are hydrogen. In case of ethyl, this carbon is connected to two hydrogens and one carbon. So in the place of one hydrogen here we have carbon. Therefore this ethyl group gets higher priority over this methyl group. Therefore the complete sequence of priority for 2-butanol is OH, and next to that we have ethyl, and then we have methyl, and the least priority group is hydrogen. This is the structure of 2-butanol, and here with the chiral carbon a OH group is connected, and here we have a methyl and ethyl and hydrogen. And I have just expanded the structures of the groups connected here. This is the chiral carbon to which the methyl group is connected, and this side we have ethyl. In both the cases, the atoms directly connected to the chiral carbon are carbon atoms. So both are getting equal priority. So which among the two is has to be given higher priority? That has to be decided based on the atoms which are directly connected to these carbon atoms. So we cannot give equal priority for these two groups. So one of the two has to be given higher priority over the other, for which we have to look at the other atoms which are connected with the carbon atoms. In case of methyl, there are three hydrogens connected, and in case of ethyl, two hydrogens and a carbon are connected. So two hydrogens and a carbon. So this carbon gets higher priority over this hydrogen. So for one hydrogen, we have one hydrogen here, another hydrogen, another hydrogen. These two we can just these two are balanced. And look at the remaining group. Here you have hydrogen and here you have carbon. So this is the first point of difference. So here this at this point we have hydrogen and at this point we have carbon. This is what we call as the first point of difference. At the first point of difference, we have carbon here and here we have hydrogen, and this gets higher priority over hydrogen. Therefore, this ethyl group is given higher priority over this methyl group. And after assigning priority numbers, we have to look at the structure. We have to see to that the least priority group is at the bottom. If it is at the bottom, then you have to read the priority numbers. If your eye travels in the clockwise direction, when you read the numbers from 1 to 3, then it is given, it is assigned our configuration. But in this case, when we read numbers 1, 2, 3, our eyes travel in the anti-clockwise direction. That is why this structure is assigned a S configuration, and this is the three-dimensional structure of this molecule. So this OH at the top and ethyl at the left here, methyl at the right, hydrogen the least priority group at the back side. And I have given the mirror image of this molecule, that is the enantiomer of this molecule. And normally enantiomers will have opposite configurations. Therefore, this chiral carbon is having or assigned R configuration. So we have to remember that the enantiomers are having opposite configurations. If there is a double bond or triple bond present in a group, both double or triple bonded atoms are considered to be duplicated or triplicated. The priority sequence is then determined by considering the structure containing the duplicated or triplicated atoms. What does it mean? So here we have a carbonyl group. This carbonyl group should be considered like this. This carbon should be considered as it is connected to two oxygen atoms. So the one oxygen is the real atom, the other one is the duplicate atom or the phantom atom. And usually when we expand the structure, we put the phantom atoms within the parenthesis. So here is an aldehyde group in which we have a carbon oxygen double bond. Carbon has a double bond with oxygen. This has to be considered like carbon connected with the two oxygen atoms. Among the two oxygen atoms, one is the real, the other one is a duplicate or phantom atom. Here I have taken glyceraldehyde, and this glyceraldehyde has got a chiral carbon connected to an aldehyde, a CH2OH group here, a OH and a hydrogen. So the atoms which are directly connected to this carbon are oxygen, carbon here, and hydrogen. So these two are the atoms with the same atomic number. So these two are the same. Therefore, we have to move to the next point of difference to assign priority for these two groups. So here we have this carbon connected to two hydrogens and a OH. So this CH2OH I have expanded here. Carbon with two hydrogens and a OH. Whereas this aldehyde has to be considered like this carbon connected to a hydrogen with a single bond, and it has a double bond with oxygen. That has to be considered like the carbon connected with two oxygen atoms. C double bond O of this carbonyl group has to be considered like two single bonds with the two oxygen atoms. Among the two oxygens, one is real, the other one is duplicate. Now compare these two groups. Here you have carbon, carbon, and next to the carbon you have hydrogen and two oxygen atoms. And in this case of this group, we have two hydrogens and one oxygen. So this carbon is connected to two hydrogens, one oxygen, and this carbon is connected to one hydrogen, two oxygens. Therefore, this group has higher priority over this one. That is why next to oxygen, this carbon, the aldehyde carbon, is given higher priority over the remaining groups. And next to this we have this group that is given priority number 3. The hydrogen with the lowest atomic number is given number 4. After assigning the priority numbers, you can see that the least priority group is kept at the back. So always while assigning the configuration, you should see to that the least priority group should be kept at the backside of the three-dimensional structure. Backside means that bond should be away from the weaver. Now, when the least priority group is away from the weaver, now we have to read the priority numbers of the remaining three groups. Oxygen gets the highest priority 1, next to that aldehyde, and next to that we have this CH2OH. So when we read numbers from 1 to 3, our eyes travel in the clockwise direction. Therefore, this chiral carbon is assigned R configuration. Ring systems are treated as branched chains. If there is unsaturation, then duplication is done. Thus, for a phenyl group, just look at this molecule. Here we have the chiral center. One side we have the cyclohexyl group, and the other side we have phenyl ring. And both the sides we have the carbon atoms which are directly connected to the chiral carbon. Which among these two carbon atoms should be given higher priority? With this carbon there is a double bond between carbon-carbon. Therefore, there should be a duplication done here. This carbon is connected to two carbon atoms, one real carbon and one phantom atom, phantom duplicate carbon atom. So this side there are two carbon atoms connected, and this side there is another carbon. Therefore, this carbon is considered to have connected to three carbon atoms. This side 2 and this side 1. So this carbon of the phenyl group is considered as connected to three carbon atoms. Whereas in case of cyclohexyl group, this carbon is connected to two carbon atoms and one hydrogen. I have expanded this carbon cyclohexyl group here. This is CH and this is connected to a CH2 here, another CH2. Therefore, this carbon is directly connected to two carbon atoms only. Whereas in case of the phenyl carbon here, it is connected to two carbon atoms here, one real carbon, here you have a CH. So that is a real carbon, and apart from that the pi bond is with the phantom or duplicate carbon. So whenever you have a double bond with carbon, you have to consider it like there are two carbon atoms connected. One carbon is real, the other one is phantom. And this side again there is another carbon. That is what I have shown here. This is the phenyl carbon that is connected to two real carbon atoms and one phantom carbon. Therefore, this has to be considered. This phenyl carbon should be considered as if it has been connected to three carbon atoms, whereas this cyclohexyl carbon should be considered like it is connected only with two carbon atoms and a hydrogen. So this carbon is directly connected to three carbons here, and this is connected only with two carbons. Therefore, phenyl ring gets higher priority over the cyclohexyl group. So you can assign priority numbers here. The phenyl carbon gets highest priority, the cyclohexyl gets number 2, methyl gets 3, carbon hydrogen gets the least priority number 4. Since the least priority group is at the bottom of the Fisher projection, you can read the numbers from 1 to 3. This is given number 1, this is 2, and this is 3. When you go from 1 to 3, you are traveling in the anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, this molecule is also assigned S configuration. So far, we were discussing about assigning priority numbers for the 4 different groups connected to the chiral carbon based on sequence rules. After assigning the priority numbers for all the 4 different groups connected to the chiral carbon, we have to rotate the 3-dimensional structure of the molecule in such a way the least priority group, the group with the priority number 4, is going away from the weaver. So I am looking at the molecule from this side. For me, the number 4 is away from me. So always, while you are assigning configuration, first assign the priority numbers. After assigning priority numbers, rotate the structure, 3-dimensional structure, in such a way the group with the priority number 4 is going away from you. And after that, read the numbers from 1 to 3. If your eye travels in the clockwise direction, then assign configuration R. In this particular case, I am reading the numbers from 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. My eyes travel in the clockwise direction. Therefore, this chiral center is assigned the configuration R. If when I read the numbers from 1 to 3, if my eyes travel in the anti-clockwise direction, then this chiral carbon should be assigned the configuration S. Here I have 2-butanol, CH3, CHOH, CH2, CH3. This is 2-butanol. 2-butanol has got a chiral carbon to which we have a methyl group, ethyl group, OH and hydrogen connected. There are 4 different groups connected to the carbon atoms. Therefore, this is an asymmetric carbon, chiral carbon. Now, assign the priority numbers for the groups connected to the chiral center. So among the 4 groups, just look at the atoms which are directly connected. So here the oxygen is the directly connected atom. Here in case of methyl, carbon is connected, and here also in case of ethyl also carbon is connected. And we have already discussed, in case of methyl carbon, this carbon is directly connected to 3 hydrogens, whereas in the case of the carbon in the ethyl group, it is connected to 2 hydrogens and a carbon. Therefore, this ethyl group is given higher priority over this methyl. Therefore, OH is given the highest priority number 1. Ethyl is given the priority number 2. Methyl is assigned the priority number 3. Hydrogen with the lowest atomic number is given number 4. Okay, now we have assigned the priorities. After assigning the priorities, what I have to do is I have to rotate the 3-dimensional structure of the molecule in such a way the least priority group is going away from me. Only these three groups are coming towards me, and this is going away from me. So when I am looking at the molecule from this side, only these three groups will be visible for me. And that is what I have shown here. The hydrogen is hidden at the backside. It is just like the Newman projection. In the Newman projection, the backside carbon is hidden by the front carbon. It's very similar to that. The backside, the hydrogen at the backside is hidden by this carbon. So only these three groups are visible or obvious for me. Now I have to read the priority numbers from 1 to 3, oxygen 1, ethyl 2, methyl 3. So when I read the numbers from 1 to 3, my eyes travel in the clockwise direction. You can see the arrow marks. I am traveling in this direction, in the clockwise direction. That is why this structure is given R configuration. This chiral center is given R configuration. Therefore, the IUPAC name of this molecule should have the prefix R to show that the chiral center has the R configuration. So the name of this molecule, the complete name of this molecule is R2-butanol. So in case of chiral molecules, we have to include the configurations as the prefixes. Only then the name becomes complete. Therefore, this is the molecule we have discussed just now, that is R2-butanol. And here I have, when I weave the molecule from this direction, this methyl group is at my left side and the ethyl group is at my right side. Now I am interchanging these two groups. I am just putting this ethyl here and methyl here. That is what I have done here. So when I have done one interchange, the configuration changes at the chiral center. This methyl group at the left, I am bringing to the right. The ethyl at the right, I am bringing to the left. And that is what I am having here. I have done one interchange of two groups. After one interchange, the configuration at this chiral center changes. And this chiral center has R configuration. Now here, you read the priority numbers from 1 to 3. OH gets priority number 1, ethyl 2, methyl 3. So when you read the numbers 1, 2, 3, you are traveling in the anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, this chiral carbon gets S configuration. So these two are enantiomers. And this chiral carbon, this is R2-butanol and this is S2-butanol, and these two are mirror images. Therefore, the enantiomers have opposite configuration. Here are some exercises for you. I have given different sets of groups. Now it is up to you to give the priority order for the groups in each set. Here we have chlorine, and in this case we have oxygen that is directly connected to the chiral carbon. Here we have sulfur connected, and here we have hydrogen. So you assign the priority numbers or priority orders for these four groups. Similarly, for the other sets also you assign priority. And here is another problem for you. Identify the stereochemical relationship between these two structures. The structures A and B, these are A and B. These are the two structures I have given you to identify the stereochemical relationship between them. So how will you identify the stereochemical relationship between these two structures? So let me do a rotation about this CCl bond and first of all let us assign the priority numbers. Here this is chlorine directly connected, and here we have bromine, here we have hydrogen and carbon. There are four different atoms connected. Okay, it's easy for us. So now we have to assign priority numbers. So bromine with the highest atomic number should be given highest priority, number 1. Next to bromine we have chlorine, that should be given priority number 2, and then carbon, then hydrogen, 1, 2, 3, 4. After assigning priority numbers in a three-dimensional structure, what we have to do is we have to do a rotation so that the least priority group is going to the back, is going away from you. So I am doing a rotation about this carbon chlorine bond. I am bringing this hydrogen to the back. So when hydrogen goes here, bromine will be coming here and methyl will be, I am not breaking any bond, just I am doing a rotation. This bromine will be shifted here, this methyl will move here, and hydrogen will occupy the place of bromine. So I have done a mere rotation of the three-dimensional structure. So now the least priority group, group number 4, is at the back. Now I have to read the priority numbers from 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. When I read the numbers from 1 to 3, 1, 2, 3, I am traveling in the clockwise direction. Therefore, this is the molecule with the configuration R. And I am just converting the three-dimensional structures to Fisher projections here. And this is the Fisher projection formula of this molecule. This is the three-dimensional structure of this molecule. Chlorine at the top. I am just weaving the molecule from this side. Because bromine is away from me, I am weaving the molecule from this side. So chlorine is at the top, methyl is at my left, hydrogen is at my right, bromine is at the back. The bond at the back side should be kept at the bottom of the Fisher projection. So this is the Fisher projection formula of this molecule. Okay, now I have done the rotation. Hydrogen has gone to the back. So now I am converting this three-dimensional structure into Fisher projection. So I am weaving the molecule from here. Now for me, hydrogen is away from me. So in the Fisher projection, chlorine should be kept at the top, bromine at my left, methyl at my right, hydrogen, the group at the back, should be at the bottom. Now read the priority numbers. 1 for bromine, chlorine 2, methyl 3. When you read the numbers from 1 to 3, your eyes travel in the clockwise direction. Therefore, this chiral carbon has R configuration. Now look at this molecule B. So here we have the chiral carbon, and here also we have the same set of 4 groups: methyl, methyl, chlorine, chlorine, bromine, bromine, hydrogen. So here also we have the same set of groups with the chiral carbon. So what I am doing now is I am just doing a rotation to bring the hydrogen to the back. So about this carbon-carbon bond, I am doing a rotation. So when I rotate, this chlorine will occupy the place of hydrogen. This chlorine will occupy the place of hydrogen, and the hydrogen will go back, and bromine will occupy the place of chlorine. So after rotation, I am getting this structure. You convert this three-dimensional structure into Fisher projection. So we are weaving the molecule from here now. For us, hydrogen is at the back. So when you are standing here to weave these 3 groups. So for the weaver, methyl is at the top. So in the Fisher projection, it should be kept at the top. When I am standing here, chlorine is at my left, bromine is at my right, hydrogen is at the back. The group that is away from us, the group at the back side should be kept at the bottom. Okay. Now assign the priority numbers: bromine 1, chlorine 2, carbon 3. When you read the numbers from 1 to 3, you are going in the clockwise direction. So this is also having R configuration. So this is a chiral carbon, having 4 groups: bromine, chlorine, methyl, hydrogen. This is a molecule having a chiral carbon with the same set of 4 groups: bromine, chlorine, methyl, hydrogen. This is having R configuration and this is also having R configuration. Therefore, the structures A and B are having the same configuration. Hence, A and B are two molecules of the same compound which are oriented differently. But so A and B are the same molecules. Here is another problem for you. Determine the stereochemical configuration of the following enantiomer of 3-chloro-1-pentene. 3-chloro-1-pentene. So this is a molecule with a 5 carbon chain. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The third carbon is having chlorine. Now if you look at this carbon, this is 3-chloro-1-pentene. And if you look at this carbon, it is connected to chlorine in one side. The other side it is connected to a carbon doubly bonded with another carbon. And here there is another ethyl group and hydrogen. So now you have to assign the priority numbers for the 4 groups. So what are the atoms which are directly connected to this chiral carbon? Chlorine, carbon, carbon, hydrogen. So chlorine is the one with the highest atomic number, that is given priority number 1. Now here we have, in both the cases we have carbon atoms. This carbon atom is directly connected to 2 hydrogens and a carbon, whereas this carbon is directly connected to 1 hydrogen and 2 carbon atoms. You should remember, whenever you have a double bond, you should consider like this carbon is directly connected to 1 real carbon and 1 duplicate carbon. Therefore, this carbon is directly connected to 2 carbon atoms and 1 hydrogen, whereas this carbon is directly connected to only 1 carbon and 2 hydrogens. Therefore, this carbon gets higher priority over the ethyl group. So, this group gets number 1, this is given the priority number 2, and this is getting the priority 3. Hydrogen gets the least priority. As I said earlier, you have to rotate the 3-dimensional structure in such a way the least priority group is away from you, that is hidden by the carbon, chiral carbon. So it is very similar to the Newman projection, where in the Newman projection the backside carbon is hidden by the front side carbon. So here the least priority group, whatever, whether it is hydrogen or any other group, it is the least priority group, and that is exactly at the backside of this carbon, chiral carbon. That least priority group is hidden by this chiral carbon. So when you are weaving this chiral carbon from this direction, you will have only these 3 groups. Only these 3 groups will be visible for you because the 4th group is hidden. So this is very similar to the Newman projection. This carbon with the 3 groups are visible for us, and the least priority group at the back side is hidden by this carbon that you cannot see, as you cannot see the carbon at the back side of the Newman projection. Now after assigning the priority numbers, read the priority numbers from 1 to 3. So you have to travel from 1 to 3 like this. Now your eyes travel in the anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, this molecule is assigned, this chiral carbon is assigned S configuration. So the IUPAC name of this molecule is S within bracket hyphen 3-chloro-1-pentene. The complete name, the complete IUPAC name of this molecule should have the configuration of the chiral carbon atoms. Therefore, you have to give the name S within bracket hyphen 3-chloro-1-pentene. The very same structure I have given here once again. So this is like Newman projection where the chlorine with the highest priority is here, and you have the vinyl group with the priority number 2 and ethyl with the priority number 3, and the hydrogen is hidden at the back side. So we need not bother about the hidden group, the least priority group that is hidden at the back. So read the numbers from 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. The priority order is like this. When you read the numbers, your eyes travel in the anti-clockwise direction, counterclockwise direction. Therefore, this chiral center is assigned configuration S. So this is the S enantiomer of 3-chloro-1-pentene. As I said earlier, the IUPAC name of this molecule is S within bracket hyphen 3-chloro-1-pentene. Whenever we name a chiral molecule, its systematic name should have the prefix, that is the configuration at the chiral carbon. Here are two examples given. A stereoisomer is named by indicating the configuration of each asymmetric carbon before the systematic name of the compound as prefix for the systematic name. So this molecule is 3-methyl-1-pentene. Just give the numbers for the carbon chain: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a molecule with a 5 carbon parent chain. At the carbon number 1 you have a double bond, and carbon number 3 has a branch, a substituent, that is methyl group. Therefore this is 3-methyl-1-pentene. That is the systematic name of this molecule. But that name becomes complete only when you put the prefix, only when you put the configuration at the chiral center as the prefix. Therefore the complete name of the molecule is R within bracket hyphen and then the systematic name. This is the complete name of the molecule. Suppose if there are more than one chiral center present in the molecule, for all the chiral centers we should assign configuration, and the configurations of all chiral carbon atoms should be mentioned before the systematic name of this molecule. See, for this molecule there are two chiral centers, and both the chiral centers are having S configuration, and that is mentioned before its name. When a molecule has more than one chiral center, each chiral center should be assigned R or S configuration according to the sequence rule and conversion rule. The two steps I have given earlier. Step 1 is assigning priorities for the 4 groups connected to the chiral carbon. That is based on the sequence rules. And number 2, after assigning priority numbers, you have to rotate the molecule in such a way the least priority group goes to the back, and then you have to read the priority numbers. Now here I have given the structure of plus tartaric acid. This has 2 chiral centers. Let us see how we are assigning configurations for these 2 chiral centers. I am going to give you a very important point now. This is one chiral center connected to oxygen here, carbon here, another carbon here, a hydrogen. So among these 4 atoms, oxygen gets the highest priority. So that is assigned priority number 1. So now there are 2 carbon atoms. This is COOH. If you write the structure properly, it is C double bond O OH. Double bond O means it is connected to 2 oxygen atoms. That way you have to consider. You have to convert the double bond into 2 single bonds with oxygen. Among the 2 single bonds, one is real oxygen, the other one is duplicate. So C double bond O is equivalent to carbon connected to 2 oxygens, one real, one phantom. Apart from this C double bond O, there is a OH group. So there is another oxygen connected. Therefore, this carbon has to be considered as it is connected to 3 oxygen atoms. Among the 3, 2 are real, 1 is duplicate. Whereas this carbon, if you look at, it is connected, of course, these two are the same atoms. So when the atoms connected to the chiral carbon atom are same, you have to move to the next point of difference. So next to carbon we have 3 oxygens here, but here we have 1 oxygen, 1 carbon and 1 hydrogen. So the carbon connected to 3 oxygen gets higher priority over this carbon. Therefore, this carboxyl group is assigned priority number 2, and this carbon with the secondary alcoholic group is given number 3, and this hydrogen with the least priority is assigned number 4. Now, in case of assigning priority numbers in the Fisher projection, you have to notice very carefully that the number 4, the least priority group, should be present in the vertical line. Only then, when you read numbers from 1 to 3, now you read numbers from 1 to 3, 1, 2, 3, your eyes travel in the anti-clockwise direction. As per our usual procedure, this carbon should be assigned S configuration because we are traveling in anti-clockwise direction. But we have to give configuration R here because the least priority group is not in the vertical line. Always remember, only when the least priority group is in the vertical line, you should follow the usual procedure. What is the usual procedure? When you read numbers from 1 to 3, when your eyes travel, if your eyes travel in the anti-clockwise, assign the configuration S. If your eyes travel in the clockwise, assign R. That should be done only when the group number 4 is in the vertical line. If it is present in the horizontal line, then the opposite configuration should be assigned. For anti-clockwise, the configuration should be given R. For clockwise, the configuration should be given S. This is one important difference that you should note. So whenever the least priority group is present in the horizontal line of the Fisher projection, clockwise sequence, your eyes travel in the clockwise direction, should be given S configuration, but usual procedure is R. But when the least priority group is in the horizontal line, for clockwise sequence you should assign S configuration. For anti-clockwise sequence you should assign R configuration. So the group of lowest priority, the least priority group H, is in the horizontal line of both the chiral centers. Therefore, and in both the cases we are traveling, when you go from 1 to 3 you are traveling in the anti-clockwise. Here also you are going in the anti-clockwise. Therefore, the usual procedure is anti-clockwise should be given S. But when the least priority is present in the horizontal, you give R. So for both the carbon atoms, we are assigning configuration R. So this is chiral center with R, and this is also a chiral center with the configuration R. Therefore, both the chiral carbon atoms, there are 2 chiral carbon atoms. In both the cases, your eyes travel in the anti-clockwise, but still you are not assigning S configuration, you are assigning R because the least priority group is in the horizontal line. In both the cases, the least priority group hydrogen is present in the horizontal line. Therefore, for the anti-clockwise rotations, we are not assigning S, we are assigning R configuration. Therefore, both the chiral carbon atoms are having R configurations. Therefore, the IUPAC name of this molecule is this. Let us number the carbon atoms of the parent chain. 1, 2. Let us now number the carbon atoms present in the chain, the parent chain. This is assigned number 1, 2, 3, 4. The carbon number 2 and 3 are chiral, and both are having R configuration. Therefore, this is 2R, 3R plus tartaric acid. This is the complete IUPAC name of this molecule. I have taken another example for assigning these RS configurations for the chiral centers. This molecule is 3-bromo-2-butanol, and this 3-bromo-2-butanol has two chiral centers. So I have drawn the Fischer projection of this 3-bromo-butane-2-ol, 3-bromo-2-butanol or 3-bromo-butane-2-ol. I have drawn the Fischer projection. Now, in the parent chain, while you are assigning the IUPAC name, you have to go from here 1. This is carbon number 2 having OH, that's why butane-2-ol. This is carbon number 3 having bromine, that's why 3-bromo. And there are 4 carbon atoms in the chain, therefore butane. So 3-bromo-2-butanol. I have given the Fischer projection here. Now there are two chiral centers, and for both the chiral centers I have to assign the configuration. So what are the 4 atoms directly connected to this carbon, chiral carbon? Oxygen here, carbon here, another carbon here, and hydrogen. So among the 4 atoms directly connected to this chiral carbon, oxygen is getting the highest priority because it is having the highest atomic number. So it's given number 1. And next to that we have 2 carbon atoms, this carbon and this one. So among these 2 carbon, which will be getting higher priority? This one, because this carbon is directly connected to, so the first place, the first atoms directly connected to are carbon. So next to carbon you have hydrogens here, but next to carbon you have bromine. So that is the next point of, the first point of difference. So this carbon is directly connected only with 3 hydrogens, but this carbon is directly connected to a bromine, carbon and a hydrogen. So this carbon gets higher priority over this. Therefore, oxygen is given priority number 1, and this side group gets priority 2, and this methyl gets 3, hydrogen gets 4. After assigning priority numbers based on the sequence rules, you have to read the numbers from 1 to 3 in the Fischer projection. Read 1, 2, 3. Now we are traveling in the anti-clockwise direction. So what is the usual procedure? Whenever you read the numbers from 1 to 3, if your eyes travel in the anti-clockwise direction, you have to assign the configuration yes. But before fixing it as yes, you have to look at the least priority group. If it is in the vertical line, keep it as yes. Suppose if number 4 is in the horizontal line, for anti-clockwise you have to give configuration R. So, but here we have the least priority group in the vertical line, so there is no need to change the configuration. So for anti-clockwise you have to assign the configuration with the usual procedure, that is yes. And look at the next carbon here. And this carbon is directly connected to bromine here, carbon, carbon, hydrogen. So bromine with the highest atomic number gets the priority number 1. So among these 2 carbon atoms, this carbon is directly connected to 3 hydrogens, but this carbon is directly connected to an oxygen and hydrogen. So this side should get higher priority 1, 2, this is 3, the least priority group hydrogen number 4. Now read the numbers from 1 to 3, your eyes travel in the anti-clockwise. So whenever your eyes travel in anti-clockwise, according to the conversion rule, you have to assign yes configuration. But before fixing it as yes, look at the number 4. Is it in the vertical line? Okay, you keep it as yes. Suppose if it is in the horizontal, for anti-clockwise you have to assign R. But fortunately we have the least priority group in the vertical line, so for anti-clockwise you have to assign yes configuration. Therefore, the name of IUPAC name of the molecule should have the configurations at these 2 chiral centers. Carbon number 2 has S configuration, Carbon number 3 also has S configuration. So therefore 2s, 3s, 3-bromo-butane 2-all is the complete name of this molecule. Now I have taken the structure of the Fischer projection formula of D-glucose. So it has 4 chiral centers. If you assign priority numbers for the 4 different groups present in every chiral center, uh, you assign priority numbers and then you read the numbers from 1 to 3 for this carbon. You can do it by yourself. Now for this carbon you will have to travel in the anti-clockwise direction, because for one chiral center alone I will do. So with this chiral carbon we have a OH here, oxygen connected, here a carbon double bonded with oxygen, that is correct, aldehyde group is connected, and here we have a carbon connected to a secondary alcoholic OH, and the least priority group 4 hydrogen is here. So you assign priority numbers, oxygen gets highest priority, and in case of these two groups you have carbon, this carbon is directly connected only with one oxygen, but here this oxygen is connected by a double bond with oxygen. That means it has to be considered as connected with two oxygen atoms, one real, one phantom. So this carbon gets higher priority over this. So this is given priority number 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So 1, 2, 3. So your eyes travel in the anti-clockwise direction. So usual procedure is, when you read numbers from 1 to 3, if your eyes travel in anti-clockwise, you have to assign S configuration. But before fixing it as S, you have to look at the least priority group. If the least priority group is in the horizontal line, for anti-clockwise you have to give R configuration. So S has to be converted to R. You can remember that way. So this chiral center is assigned R configuration, because although we travel in anti-clockwise, the least priority group hydrogen is in the horizontal line. Therefore, we should not fix it as S. In the place of S, we have to put R when the least priority group is in the horizontal line. Similarly, in all the 4 chiral centers, we have the hydrogen, the atom with the lowest atomic number, the least priority group in all cases is in the horizontal line. Therefore, for all anti-clockwise sequence, you have to assign R configuration. For the clockwise sequence, you have to assign S configuration. After all our discussions about the absolute configurations R and S, because for every chiral center we are assigning priority numbers, and based on that we are assigning configurations. Therefore, these R and S configuration is called absolute configuration, whereas DL configuration is given or assigned with respect to glyceraldehyde. Therefore, that is the relative configuration. So you should remember that the DL notations are no way related to RS. So a molecule with the D configuration, a molecule with one chiral center having D configuration may have S configuration when you assign the absolute configuration. Similarly, DL and RS are not related to each other. They have no relation. Similarly, DL, RS are not related in any way with the plus and minus that we are using with the names to show whether the molecule is rotating the light, plane polarized light, in the clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. If there is plus, it is dextro-rotatory substance, minus for levo-rotatory. So the plus and minus are not related to R and S or D and L. This is an important topic in stereochemistry. Try to learn this topic of assigning configurations, absolute configurations, RS for chiral centers, assigning relative configurations DL, and assigning erythrothionotations notations for different molecules by solving problems. Only by solving problems you can learn all these concepts thoroughly. Thank you.